Elise Stefanik will end up back in the cabinet.
I'm going no on this. Split.
I think I might be wishful thinking here.
Okay.
I know I might be wishful thinking
Okay.
here because, Christian, you and I, we focus on the math of House control because it's literally down to a matter of life or death, right? So if you look at the current House split as of before these special elections in Florida, it's 218 Republicans and 213 Democrats. That's also with Stefanik having not left her seat, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a very tight margin. And the only reason why it's 213 Democrat and not 215 is because 2 Democrats died, which should also maybe be like a macabre cautionary tale to like party leadership. Stop just greenlighting these candidates to run for re-election for 25 years when they have like cancer and are in their 80s because they might die and mess up your ability to, impede the majority. So if the GOP wins both of these special elections on April 1st, that's 220 Republicans, 213 Democrats. Thomas Massey is going to vote against pretty much anything.
Yeah, anything that doesn't include deficit-reducing measures, right?
And if you're doing no tax on Social Security, it's not going to reduce the deficit,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
So then Johnson can only afford to lose Thomas Massey and 2 other Republicans in order to pass anything. Okay. And that's if they win both elections in Florida.
Okay. I'm voting no on this for a very different reason. It's not about the math of the House, even though I do think your analysis
I guess I realized
is correct.
I just explained why I'm wrong. Why Elise Stefanik won't wind up in the cabinet.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to say. I didn't want to rub it in your face. But quite honestly, I don't know what other cabinet position would be the right fit for Stefanik, because think about who's at risk right now. RFK, because he's a wild card and he's going to come out and say something crazy about vaccines sooner than later. Pete Hegseth, maybe he's on the hot seat following this big signal scandal, but Stefanik is not the right person for that job. The only other place I could really see her coming in, other than UN ambassador, which again, she actually saw significant support from Democrats.
Yeah.
Not based on her handling of Donald Trump's impeachment, but just her entire career throughout the last 6 to 8 years or so. I forget exactly when she first entered Congress. The only place that I could see her actually making sense is as chief of staff. And we do know that Susie Wiles right now is not only the most powerful operator in Washington, she's maybe, to quote Donald Trump, the most powerful woman in the world. I think Trump is very happy with the chief. And I do not think, based on, again, the math in the House and Republicans wanting to, potentially screw up those numbers, they're going to put her anywhere else other than, maybe UN ambassador again. I don't think it makes sense. The juice is not worth the squeeze for Republicans here. And unfortunately, she's going to be a rank and file member after stepping down from leadership earlier this year, right?
I mean, yeah, so my vote's probably just pure wishful thinking because I just think
manifest.
Right, I'm trying to manifest it. But like, she, more than any other House Republican, has been in the trenches with Trump.
Yeah.
And she provides like very much grown up, serious energy that is sometimes I think needed around Trump world. And it's more like, not that Mike Waltz wasn't deserving of NSA, like he is. He had serious bona fides, and I think even Signalgate aside, if you look at those messages, I think they revealed very good instincts on why the Houthi strikes were good and justified, which they were. But like with Stefanik, it's what do we reward in terms of, loyalty is good, but also we want to be rewarding competence.
Yeah.
And like Elise Stefanik is very competent. I think people outside of DC don't realize her I think it's still called EPAC, has been massively influential in recruiting Republican women to run for public office. And it's just been, she's also turned a district that, historically was way more purple into a very crimson seat.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, the House math is difficult, and we'll see what Trump does with his political capital, because he came in with a huge mandate, a resounding one, right? He fulfilled one part, and that was seal the border. And then the second part, reduce prices and unleash prosperity.
That's up in the air right now.
We'll see, question mark.
I kind of think Stefanik's a cautionary tale, right? Donald Trump preaches loyalty among his lieutenants above all else. But that loyalty doesn't necessarily go both ways, it seems like.